Hey guys, Neil Rice here with Profit and Honor, where we help you align your faith and your work for maximum success. In last week's video, we talked a bit about putting first things first, about going to God first as the source of all good things so that we can be well equipped to fulfill the mission He has for us here in our life. And I want to build on that just a little bit with today's message. And I've been in Luke chapter 5 here recently, and I think we want to just look a little bit about Jesus, what Jesus did here in His early ministry that I think sets a good example for us. And so I've been reading in chapter 5, and I'm looking specifically in verses 15 and 16, but just to lay the groundwork, what has happened here is Jesus has actually begun His ministry on earth. He actually chose His disciples and began ministering to people around Him. In fact, He had just recently healed someone very publicly. And so what has happened here is the news about Jesus was spreading all around, and people were catching on like, hey, this guy is someone special. And he was gaining, I think, in popularity. He was gaining in acknowledgement of the things he was doing. But here's what Luke 5 verses 15 and 16 says. Yet the news about him spread all the more, so that crowds of people came to hear him and to be healed of their sicknesses. Now, listen to this. But Jesus often withdrew to lonely places and prayed. And that's the part that I think we really need to hone in on here, because if you can see what's happening, people are starting to gather around Jesus. He's finding certain level of success and acknowledgement of all that He's doing. Large crowds of people are apparently seeking Him out and following Him around. And so think about that in terms of your life and what you're doing. And I think the point that I'm seeing here is that as our success and our responsibility, maybe even as our pressures in our business or organization or just in life, as those things grow, it's critically important that our time alone with God grows with them. So you can see here what's happening. Jesus is getting, more and more pressure and responsibility placed upon Him by just pressures around Him, the people around Him that are seeking Him out and hoping that He will heal them and maybe teach them things that they can apply to their life. And that's all great, and that's all good things. And that's, one of the reasons Jesus came to this earth was to fulfill those things. But still, even Jesus, He made time to slip away, to be by Himself, to pray to the Father. That connection was critical for Him. And it's going to be critical for us too, especially as we grow in stature, or we grow in responsibility, we grow in leadership opportunities. If we want to do the best that we can do, we have to make time to be with the Father. So our time alone with God has to go up on scale with the success and the responsibility and the pressure that we see in our life. And that's the only way we're going to be able to make our maximum impact. That's it for today. Hope it's been helpful. Go to profitandhonor.com to learn more. Like this video, share it. I'd be grateful for that. And remember, a great leader is always learning.